were told, or persons before were told that there was a plan. But being someone who's experienced it, I can't tell. And all we keep hearing is that it's getting better. But there was no concrete plan put in place before, and I would actually like for us to avoid that now. We know that parking is a problem. I think I've been told that there's approximately 5,000 parking spaces currently available, in, but we have a 30,000 seat soccer stadium with over 20,000 tickets sold. We cannot rely on ride share. We cannot rely on, on people parking in folks' yards so that they can make a quick buck because there's liability issues there. I know you said that there's plans for ride share on Craighead, but I believe we are also building a transportation hub on this corner. Like, has there been any thought of maybe this transportation hub being a one-stop for transportation? So if along with buses, a car can rideshare pull up in there so that way they're not in the right of way of traffic and not having to worry about people blocking traffic in order to wait for their rideshare clients. It's just a thought. Was that contemplated?
Yeah, to answer your rideshare question, to have a viable rideshare for a stadium or a speedway that's going to hold 30,000 people, you need hundreds of feet of sidewalk frontage. So the section out on Nolensville, that road carries 30,000 cars per day. So we selected Craighead because it's not quote unquote an arterial throughput, and we had a lot of excess laneage to work with. The one thing that was lacking in year one for soccer events was we didn't have a sidewalk network that made that viable. And that's just a function of funds being available to build infrastructure. But with NDOT building sidewalks this calendar year, I think you'll see a much improved rideshare operation. And it gets it off of Nolensville, which is a major thoroughfare.
And then has there been conversations with WeGo? I mean, we have 3 lanes coming in and out of Nolensville. Has there been any discussions of maybe creating some type of express bus lane traffic coming in and out of downtown to move people, here to this property?
So WeGo certainly has plans to improve bus service on a number of the corridors, but keep in mind, I don't think they can legally make it just specific for a speedway or soccer or a flea market event. So it would have to be their typical schedule that runs throughout the week or the weekend per se.
So there's been no conversations as to how we can improve the flow of traffic when we have large-scale events here on property?
I don't think they have the ability to alter their services specifically for a private event per se.
So is there any way we can get an answer to that?
This is John Cooper with Waller. When I was law director for the city, we went through this with MTA, specifically when the stadium was being contemplated. The FTA will not allow bus services that receive federal funding to have bus lines for specific events or specific places. For example, schools, they're not allowed to have a MLK bus. It has to be part of a regular route that runs daily. So that's just I've had multiple conversations with Steve Bland with WeGo about that, and there's just not any flexibility to get around that aspect.
If it's impossible, I would like to have a conversation with WeGo if possible. Because I do believe that there's always some type of workaround and something that we can do. It may not have to be just specific to this route, but I do know that bus systems can alter and make accommodations as they do for holidays, for all types of other causes. And so I just can't fathom that they would not take a look at, because and it's not just for massive events, it's just the flow of traffic. We have a traffic problem in the city. So, I mean, this also could be helpful for people who may want to park here and commute into downtown once we fully reopen into the city instead of sitting on the street. Like, we could make money off of parking outside of events if we thought about it carefully enough and long enough, so we could, so it's I just think that we need to think about think about a little bit larger than the small boxes that we're currently in.
Mr. Cooper.
If I could also point out that, well, obviously, this is a 30-year agreement, and so whatever plan we come up with today will, there'll